Hey, this is Lee. I want to do a video today about what happens when people try to overthrow a church. You may think this never happens, but it happens all the time. And what I want to do is I want to show you a conversation in the book of Numbers 16. And it's going to take me a minute to read it, but I want to come to a point. So stay with me in this video. I promise when this is over, you'll gather something, you'll glean from it. I promise you that. So 16:1 says, Now Korah the son of Izhar, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, and Dathan and Abram, whatever, the son of Eliab, and On, which is a man's name, and the son of Peleth, the son of Reuben, took men, and they rose up against Moses. Can you believe this? They rose up against Moses. And with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown, meaning they were powerful men. So they're out in the desert, they're walking. Moses is leading them, God's before them. These men decide suddenly they're going to overthrow it. We don't know about this, Moses. I got all these guys, and then 250, we're going to overthrow, get Moses and Aaron out of there. Yeah. Now watch what happens. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them, and the Lord is among them. Wherefore then lift ye up yourself above the congregation of the Lord. This is what happens so many times. What they say is, well, we're all called. We're all holy. We all are. And then they tear down the man of God and then put their own man in. Well, this is what's happening here. This is the same excuse they use everywhere. And when Moses heard it, now, let me stop here a second. I color-coded these so you could see this is a conversation between them, Moses, and God. So watch what happens. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face. Did he rail back at him? Did he throw a fit? No. He just fell down on his face to the ground because Moses knew that God had a plan, and these guys were messing it up. And he spake unto Korah and all the company, saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will show you who are his and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him, even him whom he hath chosen will he cause to come near unto him. Now 6:16, This do, take you censers, which are things that have fire on them, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense on them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the man whom the Lord hath chose, he shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. Now watch. And Moses said unto Korah, I hear, I pray thee, you sons of Levi, see it but a small thing unto you that God of Israel has separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do service in the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation to minister unto them? Is it not enough that God gave you something to do around and in the tabernacle, but that's not enough for you? You want more. So God gave you a little bit, your head got puffed up, and now you think you're ready to take over everything. Happens today. And he hath brought thee near unto him, and all the brethren of the sons of Levi with thee. And seek ye the priesthood also? You want the priesthood and everything? For which caused both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord. Now look at this, against the Lord, not against Moses and Aaron, but you rose up against the Lord because God had a plan. And what is Aaron that they murmur against him? Now listen to this. And Moses sent to call Dathan, Abram, the son of Eli, which said, We will not come up. We're not coming up. Just because you tell us to, we ain't doing it. And it is a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey to kill us in the wilderness, except thou makest altogether a prince over us. So they're railing accusations against Moses. They're trying to tear him down in front of the congregation, which is what they do today. And then they're going to get rid of him. Now, these guys have been troublemakers. Dathan's been a troublemaker all the way through. Moreover, thou hast brought us into the land that floweth milk and honey, or given us an inheritance, fields and vineyards. Wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. What he's saying is, you didn't do what you said. You didn't give us lands flowing with milk and honey, and you didn't give us these things. Now what, are you going to put our eyes out so that we can't see that you didn't? You hear the disdain in that? And 6:15, and Moses was very wroth. Okay, now you got the man of God mad. He's mad now. And said unto the Lord, respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. He didn't take a donkey. He hasn't taken any pay. He hasn't done anything. And Moses said unto Korah, be thou and all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow. He's calling a challenge, just like Elijah on Mount Carmel. And take every man his censer and put incense in them. And bring ye before the Lord every man his censer, 250 censers. Thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. Now listen. And they took every man his censer and put fire on them and laid incense thereon and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. They're all standing here now, everybody. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. Now he's got the people standing behind him. They're ready to take him out. And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. The glory of the Lord, I mean, just boom. That don't get you excited, nothing will. 16:20. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among the congregation, that I may consume them in a moment. God is saying here, just back away from these people. They're a bunch of ball baggers. They're crying and ball bagging around. They're railing accusations. I've had enough. God says, just get away from them. I'm going to take them out. Yeah. So what happens? And they fell upon their faces, now Aaron and Moses, and said, O God, the God of the spirit of all flesh, shall one man sin? Wilt thou be wroth against the whole congregation? Watch. 16:23, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up and went to Dathan, and Abiram and the elders of Israel followed him. Now they're watching to see what's going to happen. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents and these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in their sin. Now he's just put God's judgment on them. 16:27, so they gat up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram, and on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood at the door of their tents, and their wives and their sons and their little children. Didn't even think about your wife and family. You just turned against God's men, and you turned against God. 16:28, and Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. He's saying, I didn't do it of myself. If these men die a common death of all men, meaning dying naturally, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. If they die natural, then I'm not really God's man. But, now here comes the but, 16:30. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth, and swallow them up with all that appertain to them, that all that's theirs, and they go down quick into the pit, meaning the pits of hell, the pit of the earth, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord. If it happens, it's crazy. Now listen, 16:31. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these things, that the ground clave asunder, opened up, that was under them. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that appertained unto, that were in cahoots with Korah, and all their goods. They and all that appertained to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. Boom. God opened the ground, they fell in, and he closed their back up. And it ate them like a mouth. See what happens when you get in God's way? Yes. In 16:34, just a little bit more, in 16:34 says, and all Israel that were round about them fled and cried at the cry of them, these people screaming from in the ground. When they went in the ground, they were screaming. For they said, lest the earth swallow us up also. Now listen here, 16:35, and there came out a fire from the Lord, and consumed 250 men that offered incense. All of Korah and his buddies and all the people that followed him, God had had enough. because these people that overthrow churches will always have a backing of people, a small group. And here, God took care of the men that did wrong, their families, their children, and he took care of the 250,000. Did I say that right? 250. He took them and he just burned them up. Poof, gone. Right in front of the people. Now, 1636, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, meaning the burning people, and scatter thou upon the fire yonder, for they are hallowed. Talking about the censers. The censers of these sinners against their own souls. This is a testimony against them. Let them be made broad plates for the covering of the altar, for they offered them before the Lord. Therefore they are hallowed, and they shall be a sign of the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest, let me get it up here, and Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers wherein they were burned, had offered, and they were made broad plates for the covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger which is not of the seed of Aaron come near unto the offering, to offer incense before the Lord, that he be not as Korah and his company, as the Lord said to him by the hand of Moses. Boom! It's done. 250 guys gone. The Korah and his buddies, his cohorts, are gone. Now, having seen this, remember they ran away when they heard Korah and his families cry. So what happens tomorrow? Right here, 1641, right there. But on the morrow all the congregation of Israel murmured against Moses and Aaron, saying, Ye have killed the people of the Lord. So they didn't learn anything. The next day they wake up and they're at it again. And now they're accusing them again. So what's the point here? The point is there are always going to be people that overthrow a pastor. They're always going to try to take over the church. Deacons that think they run the church when all you're supposed to do is wait tables. People that sit on a board for whatever reason, they sit on a board of directors and then tell the pastor what to do. You better be careful what you're asking the Lord for, and you better be careful what you're overthrowing, because what God's established will come to ruins for you. You cannot tear down God's will. You can't take away what is the Lord's and expect God to be okay with it. Just because you get a thought in your mind that that's better doesn't mean it's God's will. Remember that pastors are learning as they're pastoring. The elders of the church are, even though they're older, they're learning, so you have to be patient with them. Don't take what's not yours, or you will be consumed. God will take away from you everything that he gives. I don't know why I did this video, but I feel like somebody out there is going to watch this sometime in the future, maybe now, and they have this in their mind to overthrow a church or to put an old pastor out. You better think about this real hard. Remember Numbers 16 and what happened to these men. These men right here. These men died. The ground ate them. And they went down into the pit, in the earth, because they had ambitions that was against the Lord. That's my video today. I did this slow and I took some time because I wanted you to understand. You can't take what's not yours. What God has established, you have to leave that alone, and you have to either be a part of it or get away from it. But don't try to take it away, because what belongs to God is God's. And if you try to stop that, then you're turning against God, and God is going to turn on you. That's my video. I love you with all my heart. Be happy with your calling. Abide in your calling. Stay where God wants you, and you'll stay out of trouble. I love you with all my heart. Like and subscribe. Hit the little bell for notifications. I'll be back soon. Take and keep what's yours, and stay out of everybody else's calling. Let God work in them. Be part of the body of Christ. Love you.